I know what you did. Last summer, Helen Shivers is having the chase of her life. She is running through the streets, bleeding, terrified, and being actively hunted by a hook-wielding maniac. She finally breaks free and sees it. A town parade in full swing. People, lights, music, a massive crowd of witnesses. She is literally 10 feet from a sanctuary of hundreds of people. What does she do? She slows down, stops running, instead of running straight into the crowd. The killer, who has been far behind, is given the crucial seconds he needs to close the distance. She chooses to stop and pose for a dramatic plea rather than use the cover of the crowd. That moment of stopping, that fatal pause, allows the killer to silently drag her into a side alley and finish her off. She saw the finish line and decided to tie her own shoelaces. It's the ultimate failure of survival instinct. Sought 2. Addison is in a deadly game. She needs an antidote to the nerve agent filling the room. She spots a small glass box containing one of the life-saving syringes. The box has 2 small, circular holes, just big enough for a single hand, and is lined with razor blades. The instructions are implied. Use one hand, be careful, but Addison, fueled by pure panic, ignores the basic physics of the trap. She sees the syringe, forgets everything else, and shoves both hands into the box simultaneously. This locks her hands in place, rips her flesh to ribbons, and leaves her screaming, bleeding, and stuck. The crowning moment of stupidity? The key to the box, the key that would have saved her, was clearly visible, tucked under the box and easily reachable. She was so focused on the immediate, violent solution that she didn't bother to look down. She chose maximum pain and guaranteed failure over a simple, logical move. Scream. You're a high school student home alone, a creepy voice calls.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
Asks you questions about scary movies, and then reveals he has your boyfriend tied up outside. You are in immediate danger. What is the smart, logical move? Hang up and dial 911. Simple. But Casey Becker decides to play the killer's game. She engages in a trivia contest, debating horror movie facts while a literal masked murderer is walking toward her door. She is so caught up in the intellectual sparring that she gives the killer the precious minutes he needs to make the journey to her remote house. She prioritizes her competitive urge and the need to sound clever over her own survival. That prolonged chat wasn't an attempt to distract him. It was an invitation. If she had just slammed the phone down and called the cops immediately, she'd have lived. Instead, she became the first and most frustrating victim of the franchise. The Purge franchise, a supposedly new America, decides the best way to keep crime low and the economy booming is to allow one night of completely lawless, violent chaos. Every year for 12 hours, murder, theft, and anarchy are legal. The logic is that letting people purge their aggression will make them peaceful the rest of the year. This is not just a dumb decision, it's a foundation of idiocy. It's a system designed to encourage the worst possible behavior, resulting in guaranteed mass murder and the brutal targeting of the poor and vulnerable. Any 5th grade social studies student could tell you that institutionalizing mass violence won't create a peaceful society, it will just create a permanent state of trauma and class warfare. The new founding fathers weren't geniuses. They were psychopaths who made the single most morally bankrupt and ill-conceived societal experiment in cinematic history. The Ring, a mysterious tape, exists. The urban legend is clear. Watch the tape, and in 7 days, a creepy girl crawls out of your TV and kills you. You have confirmed this legend with at least one gruesome, real-life death. So what do? You immediately watch the cursed tape. This isn't a survival choice. It's sheer idiotic rubbernecking. Rachel watches it to investigate. Fine. Other characters watch it out of pure, morbid curiosity, like it's a fun TikTok challenge. No one treats it with the fear it deserves. They're not forced at gunpoint. They make an active choice to absorb the evil into their soul just to see what the grainy, disturbing images look like. It's the horror movie equivalent of reading a warning label that says, "Instant death," and deciding to take a big, curious bite. 28 days later. You're a group of animal rights activists trying to free some captive primates. Good intentions, right? But then a scientist explicitly warns you that these particular chimps are infected with an experimental, highly contagious, rage-inducing virus that could destroy humanity. What do? You smash the cages and let them loose anyway. It's not a misunderstanding, it's willful stupidity. They saw the violent, infected chimp, they heard the direct, desperate plea of the scientist, and they chose to believe that freedom was more important than the survival of the species. This singular, arrogant, short-sighted decision is the direct cause of the global zombie apocalypse that follows. Every single horrific scene in the movie, the empty cities, the bloodshed, the constant terror, can be traced back to the moment those activists decided they knew better than the guy who literally created the virus. They didn't just free the chimps, they signed humanity's death warrant. The Mist, David Drayton and his small group of survivors are trapped, surrounded by overwhelming, impossible creatures in a thick mist. They're running low on gas and hope, facing what seems like a hopeless end. Believing the monsters have taken over the entire world, David makes the most heartbreaking decision. A murder-suicide pact to spare his son and friends a gruesome death. He takes the gun, fires 4 emotional, mercy-killing shots into the car, and is left alone with 1 bullet for himself. But the gun clicks empty. He steps out of the car, expecting the horrors of the mist to descend, and immediately he is rescued by the US military. Tanks roll up, the mist clears, and a whole world of survivors is revealed. The apocalypse hadn't happened yet. David's decision to give up seconds before salvation is the single most agonizing, brain-melting anticlimax in horror history. If he had just waited 1 more minute, if he had just kept driving a little longer, his son would still be alive. It was the ultimate failure of hope, punished by the most brutal timing imaginable. Jaws. You've got a massive man-eating shark tearing people apart right off the coast of your tourist town. The police chief and a marine biologist are screaming at you to close the beaches. The decision is simple, right? Save lives. Wrong. Mayor Larry Vaughn looked at the shredded body of a victim, looked at the empty beaches, and decided, it's going to ruin the summer revenue. He chooses the bottom line over basic human decency and common sense. He actively ignores the irrefutable evidence, the giant shark tooth, the second attack, all because he can't fathom losing the 4th of July crowds. This isn't just selfish, it's monumentally stupid. That one decision, prioritizing a few million in tourism dollars, directly leads to more gruesome deaths, putting his entire community and his own reputation on the line. He could have just closed the beaches for a day. But no. He had to keep smiling, keep waving, and keep people swimming until they were literally swallowed whole. The worst part? He was warned repeatedly.